You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. Some breaking news to bring you comes from Chris Bascom and Paul Joyce, amongst other top respected LFC journalists. Before we get into it, smash that like button because it could be good news for Liverpool. It could well be. If you don't think it is though, let me know down below and let me know what your thoughts are to this one, and then once you've done that, subscribe to the channel. But the top headline, I guess, to take from this news this morning is that Liverpool's owners, Fenway Sports Group, have today announced that global sports investment firm Dynasty Equity has completed a strategic common equity minority investment in Liverpool FC. The minority investment will primarily be used to pay down bank debt incurred during the COVID-19 pandemic and capital expenses made to enhance Anfield, build upon AXA, the training centre, repurchase Melwood for the women, which I think was a great move, and most recently acquisitions during the summer transfer window. Long term, the partnership between Dynasty and FSG will also explore further growth opportunities for Liverpool FC. Just to round off how much it actually is, we're hearing that it's up to, or worth up to, £164 million that has allegedly come from Dynasty Equity. We know as well that back in November, FSG put the club up for sale when we didn't really get an offer that we were keen on. I say we, FSG. It was kind of changed from, we were for sale, but now we actually just want investors. A bit of an embarrassing back and forth really between the potential suitors and FSG at the time. It's all really gone quiet for the last 9-10 months, and it's led to this today, which has kind of concluded their search really for a minority partner. It is a small stake, but that money essentially will be used to service bank debt and, as we know, the transfers, but it won't necessarily be for making transfers. It will probably be for covering the transfers that we've already made. So the club isn't being sold, as we know, but we have made this deal today. Now, when you see it as a headline, you're thinking, oh, great, little war chest, little transfer war chest here that Klopp's got to go in with in January or even in the summer again next year. I mean, in this day and age, 164 million isn't a lot. But when you consider when FSG bought Liverpool Football Club for around about 310 million, it's half of what they paid for. And they're just using that money to... Definitely, it will be going towards finishing the Anfield Road stand as well. I was at Anfield last night. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, there have been some big developments. We've obviously got another firm working on that site now, which is good. So hopefully, from what I'm hearing anyway, don't quote me on this, but from what I heard inside, is that it could potentially be ready for the derby, which is in around 3 weeks' time from now. So we'll see how that one finishes and how it goes. But it's interesting to really break this fee down because the AXA, Melwood, COVID-19 is still paying off that from how badly it affected every football club really in terms of financial damage. And then, of course, it's paying for the transfers that we've already made. So does it make sense for us? And also, I'm asking you guys at home, how or what do Dynasty Equity actually think they're getting back in return from Liverpool? That kind of money is nothing to be sniffed at, but it's not going to change the game, if that makes sense. It's not going to allow us to go out and buy an Mbappe, for example. And I think maybe there's some realism to be had after Liverpool fans have seen that initial headline and maybe run and celebrated it. But actually, it's kind of just to cover the debts. So, you can look at it in both ways. Good because obviously, once you clear the debts up, it does allow you then to go in and have a little bit more funds available to go in and buy players, surely less debt, incoming funds, and help covering the costs elsewhere should leave us on a strong footing and therefore could benefit Liverpool in the future. But the interesting quote that I want to pick up on is that longer term, the partnership between Dynasty and FSG will also explore further growth opportunities for LFC, which basically means, you know, if this goes well and we can cover off all of our debts that are outstanding and we trust you guys, let's not forget FSG have always preferred a US backer to a Saudi backer or a Qatari backer. We know those rumours were kind of rubbish fairly early on. But are FSG saying to Dynasty, look, if this goes well and we pay off everything, we clean the books, as it were, you know, we'll have more money there for transfers, the off-pitch success for Liverpool will grow. Of course, it's all about money. So if they're investing £163 million, how much money do they want back? And if it does work for both parties, then to me, from what I've read, FSG are quite keen to go, okay, it's gone really well so far. We trust you, you trust us. You can see the growth. You can see the books are nice and clean. We're ready to step away and give you maybe a 50% equity or a stake in Liverpool Football Club. So I guess the long term will really prove to us how impactful this, in a good way, of course, this deal could eventually turn out to be for Liverpool. So yeah, you know, quite a confusing story, because on the face of it you'd say, oh, we've got loads of money to make transfers now, but at the same time all of this, you know, has its small print, and it's not as if we're getting instant access to that money. Of course it is to help us clear up some debt, which has obviously been accrued, I'd say, in the last 3 or 4 years, especially with COVID, as I said, the new stand, the new training ground, the new women's training ground as well. But again, FSG looking to stay with American backers, which is interesting, considering the kind of negative discourse really around other American owners. You look at Tottenham, you look at obviously Manchester United with the Glazers. You know, how in actual reality do FSG compare to other, not just American Premier League owners, but owners in general? I think there's obviously, and it's no secret, been massively said in the past that FSG don't invest enough into the club. But when you look at the on-pitch success that we're currently having this season, of course that is down mainly to the Soboslais, the McAllisters, the new guys that we've brought in. I'd even count Gakpo and Nunes as kind of new guys that we've brought in. But really, if we're looking at the transfers which we were all complaining about, maybe not spending enough in the summer, they've all come good. And I'm not saying for 1 minute that we need to, you know, bow down to FSG and acknowledge their, you know, incredible work here. They have done some really good bits, but I think whether we know if this will be a good thing or not won't be kind of found out now. This will be, as we know, a longer project that we'll have to wait and see what the positive or the negative outcomes of it are. I guess it's a positive thing because the money's coming in, we can clear the books, which allows funds to go over here and invest in the team. But I wanted to get your opinion on this in the comments. Let me know down below how positive, how negative, or what is it that you think around this story today that Liverpool have sold a minority stake worth up to 164 million to sports investment company Dynasty Equity. Let me know in the comments what you think to that. Does this affect our on-the-field performances recently? Is it a distraction, as we've seen with Manchester United and the Glazers, all the furore around that? Is it a distraction? Can it lead to positive things? Does this finally mean that FSG are maybe taking a first step back, which maybe leads to a few more step backs, and that even maybe leads to a whole takeover by Dynasty? We don't know. Again, time will tell. We can't really judge things right now, but hopefully it is a good thing, and hopefully it leads to more off and on the pitch success for Liverpool that we have enjoyed under FSG so far. But yeah, giving you that breaking news just to get your reaction. How do you feel about it? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you reading between the lines, or are you quite hopeful for the future? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you smash that like button, comment with your thoughts down below. Don't forget to watch that Spurs preview that we've just dropped with Abby Summers. We'll be really interested to get your thoughts on that. And again, let us know your score predictions in that video too. But until Sunday, I'll see you soon. Take care.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
Please, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous stand.